So thank you so much again for being here. I'm just going to dive right in and introduce you to our wonderful closing ceremony speakers who will be talking about the importance of culture and how changing the culture is a necessary process to make significant progress for farmed animals. Our first speaker is Lucas Alvarenga. He's the Senior Vice President of International Development and Mercy for Animals and a board member of Funalytics. Lucas has a marketing background and a master's degree in leadership, team management, and innovation, and has supported the launch of several programmatic initiatives of MFA in multiple countries. Lucas launched Mercy for Animals in Brazil in 2015, where he remained as the country head until 2019, when he stepped up as the SVP of International Development. In his role, he oversees the country and regional offices of the US, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and India, and also oversees the international expansion plan. He's passionate about learning from different cultures and talking about new ideas and strategies that can advance towards animal liberation at a global level. Please welcome Lucas on stage. Thank you so much.
I need to figure out how to use this stuff here. Well, welcome to the closing ceremony of this historical event. This might not be the biggest farm animal event, but it's likely the most important. Asia is where nearly 80% of all farm animals are at any given moment, which means that if we do not succeed here, we did not succeed at all. A year ago, I was in Kuala Lumpur at AVA, and I'm so impressed to see how much this event has grown. And I think that's thankfully to the organizers. I think most of us have no idea how much work it takes to organize an event like this, including the little details to ensure that we have a meaningful and great experience. I want to thank all of you for coming. I think many of you have come from far, have taken long flights. And this requires a lot of planning, efforts, and energy. And I especially want to thank all of you who are not native English speakers, like me. You can clap now. It can be extremely difficult and exhausting. After one whole day speaking in English, thinking in English, and socializing can be very exhausting. At the end of one day, I can feel like my brain broke. So I really want to thank you for being outside of your comfort zone and being here. Well, before I came here, I was actually planning to talk about strategy. Mercy for Animals is launching our new theory of change and 10-year global priorities. And I'm very excited about that. We're going to make huge shifts in our strategy to maximize and increase our impact at a global level. So if you are interested in learning more about our new theory of change and how we can possibly collaborate, please reach out to me or any of the MFA team members in the room. We're going to be very happy to set up a call with you and to find new ways to collaborate and increase our impact together in different parts of the world. But when I was coming, I actually decided to change my mind. So I'm no longer talking about strategy, given that this is a closing ceremony. And I decided to talk about something else, which is love. I decided to talk about love because of the state of our world. Every time we open social media, we watch the news, even if we go to the streets, it can be very overwhelming. We can feel powerless, hopeless. I think love can give us some insights on how to best manage when these difficult emotions emerge. So before we start, I would like to invite you all to do something that we do at Mercy for Animals, which is to take 3 deep breaths. And we do this first to get more centered. Second, to be more present. Presence, in my opinion, is one of the most important gifts we can give to anybody in any interaction. But I'd also like to invite you to think about the main reason why we're here, the animals. So if you feel comfortable with it, join me in closing your eyes and taking these 3 deep breaths together. When you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes again, and I hope you feel more centered, more present. I'm very impressed by the power of taking breaths and meditation and how much that can help us becoming more centered and focused and to have more meaningful interactions, especially when we're making difficult decisions. I clearly forgot about these slides, so I'm going to move to the next one. Well, I've been away from home for almost a month now. And every time I leave home, I realize that I get out of my tiny little vegan bubble. Every time I step outside of my tiny little vegan bubble, I see the reality of where we stand as society. Becoming an activist means refusing to accept the status quo. It means that something society considers normal is, to us, unacceptable. We do not accept what happens to farmed animals. We're all revolutionaries. They are saying that what the entire society considers to be normal is, to us, unacceptable and must change. Unlike most social movements, we're advocates for victims who are not ourselves. We advocate for changes that touch every single corner of society. As farm animal advocates, we are aware of the immense suffering endured by hundreds of billions of animals every single year around the world. Yet, when we walk into public spaces, restaurants, supermarkets, and look around, it feels like nobody cares. For most of us, factory farming represents the root of the greatest suffering of the planet. But when we look around, it seems like nobody sees it. How does that make us feel? When I ask myself this question, I think of friends that I've met in these years. This is Asha. I met her at a dairy farm in the north of India back in 2020. I named her Asha because Asha means hope in Hindi. She was just one terrified soul among hundreds of cows, buffaloes, and calves trapped in a dirty, crowded space. And the smell was so overpowering that I could barely stand it for 1 minute. If Asha didn't die for illness, it means that she's in the exact same place after these 4 years. She never had the chance to interact with her mother, to play with her friends, to walk freely. She never had the chance to walk, not even being able to stretch her neck. Can you imagine this? I'm going to show something that might be sensitive to you all, but I would love to show a video that I made of her that takes 30 seconds. If you feel like it, feel free to look around, to look behind. But I think this is important because this is one of the reasons that keeps my motivation up. Sometimes when being an activist feels hard, imagine being in her place for even one single day. There is something inside of me that keeps saying, never give up. This is a photo that I took in a farm in Thailand a few years ago. Sometimes I feel anger. How can the world be so unjust? It's so easy to feel sad. It's so easy to feel powerless. It's even easier to feel guilty. Guilty for not being able to make as much progress as we wanted for these victims. But I want to pause here because this feeling can be very dangerous. I've seen so many activists burn out because of guilt and fear. Poet and environmentalist Gary Snyder was once asked for advice about climate crisis and biodiversity loss, and he said, "Guilt, anger, and fear are part of the problem. If you want to save the world, save it because you love it." When I first saw this quote, it didn't really make sense to me. But the more I thought about it, the more I understood. We must never forget the billions of ashes around the world. We should never look away from their suffering. I'm sure all of you who have been to farms will never forget what you have seen. But let's be driven by the love that is inside each one of us. I'll now invite you all again to close your eyes, and I promise it's the last time. But join me in closing your eyes for one more second. Take another deep breath. No rush. Feel the love that is inside of you. This huge power of love inside of you. This infinite power. That love is what gives us the strength to keep fighting for justice. Not guilt. Love. I invite you to open your eyes again. You know, maybe we all feel anger about the state of the world, about injustice, oppression, violence, even among humans. And this is not only okay, it's normal. Anger definitely has its importance to spark the desire to take action for change. But if it dominates our minds and actions, we can get closer to burnout, and our actions can do more harm than good. Love is what connects all of us here. Love is what can drive sustainable change. Let our love drive us to success, to animal liberation. I hope you all feel inspired after this amazing conference. I hope when you get back, you feel inspired and with your energy renewed. Knowing that you are not alone. Animals are not alone. Thankfully to you. Thank you.
Please, let's do another round of applause for those beautiful words. Thank you so much, Lucas. This was really beautiful. Thank you for sharing all that love with us. Our next speaker is one of Lucas' colleagues, Shweta Sood. She is the Global VP of Marketing and Communications at Mercy for Animals, specializing in campaigns at the nexus of climate change, food systems, and inclusivity. With a postgrad in English literature from the University of Delhi, she brings a decade of experience in networking, campaigns, marketing, and communications. She currently serves on the steering committee of the Lead for Farm Animals, and the Asia for Animals Expert Advisory Committee on Capacity Building. Previously, she held roles as Deputy Director at FIAPO and Head of Programs at 50 by 40, making impactful strides in advocacy and grassroots networks across 60 cities in India. Please welcome Shweta on stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to take a minute to figure this out, and then hopefully everything will be fine. I just want to start off by saying I'm not nervous at all. I do this all the time. This is very normal for me. All right. Good afternoon, AFAD. And thank you, Lucas, for reminding us that our activism is best powered by love. It is the bridge and the catalyst that will help us not only today, but in the years that follow. I'm also thankful for the love and the support that this community has shown to me. And I'm here today to celebrate each and every one of us. But before I celebrate each and every one of us, I want to talk about me. Ever since I was a child, like I'm 3 years in this photo, I loved playing with street dogs. They were fairly common in and around my house. I grew up with a lot of community pets, and this was like an average day in my life. No surprises there then. I became an adult who, you probably guessed it, grew up to love street dogs. I also saw and read, as many of us have, the multiple atrocities that street dogs undergo. And so I did what many of us end up doing. I volunteered, helped out at shelters, and fostered when and where I could. When it came time to decide on a career, I was automatically drawn to animal welfare. So in 2013, I started working with an organization that I knew had something to do with animals, hoping, dare I say, assuming, that I was going to be working for dogs. However, my very first project when I joined my first organization, which is the Federation of Indian Animal Protection Organizations, was to create a code on the welfare of dairy cattle. So the first 6 months of my animal advocacy journey was spent on the streets, looking at cows, calves, and newborn babies in conditions such as the one that you see in this photo. It became clear to me that my purpose and calling stood with farmed animals. If my parents felt weird about me working with dogs, they had no idea how to respond to the idea of me working with farmed animals. No matter how meaningful their interventions, no matter how much they wanted me to do well, their ideas and their version of my success looked very different from what mine was. And here's a fun little exercise I thought all of us could do together. Raise your hands, or if you don't feel comfortable raising your hands, just think about it. If you've heard any of these questions before from your parents, from your uncles and aunts, when you've been out on the streets, any time. These things that you do, this animal work, these are okay as a hobby only, nothing else. We've heard that one before. Did you get a master's degree to work with cows? Now, I know we've heard some version of that. Maybe everyone didn't get a master's degree. Beta, what is this thing that you do, and what do you do other than animal work? Like, what is it that you actually do? Acha, okay. Do you make money from all of this? Yeah, okay, I'm kind of happy and kind of sad that this is resonating. And then the most fatal of them all of this is okay, but when are you gonna get a real job? Questions and versions of these questions are commonplace for many, if not all of us. As Asians, we've grown up in cultures that are strapped for time, strapped for money, strapped for basic freedoms. So we work with caution, we stay low. We don't want to stand out too much. Our instincts, driven by scarcity, honed by fear, tell us from a very young age to limit, to conform. Which is why I am eternally grateful to each and every person in this room who stood up, swam against the tide to get to where we are today. To all the questions that the world asks of us, we answer with action. So for the next few minutes, let's take a look at some of our biggest actions we've taken this year and maybe some the year before. These wins are in no particular order, nor are they meant to cover everything that we've achieved in the last few years, because if I did that, we'd be here for another 3 days. Starting off with some news from the press. Jollibee, one of Asia's largest food service companies, pledged to go cage-free globally by 2035. The Japan Poultry Association established and announced a historic animal welfare policy, a major step forward for animal welfare in Japan. Mengniu Dairy, China's second largest dairy company, published their first ever animal welfare policy. South Korea passed the bill to ban the sale and consumption of dog meat. And we even had a UN report launched at COP28, foreseeing that meat and dairy alternatives could make up as much as half of the global protein market by 2050. Now let's take a look at some wins that are harder to capture in a single news piece. 140 Indian companies joined Veganuary 2024, launching 70 vegan menu options and 40 vegan products. The Plant Forward campaign by ACT Asia ran across 9 countries, generating 120 million impressions, increasing their engagement 13-fold. Global Food Partners collaborated with over 70 egg producers, helping them transition to cage-free systems globally. Together, Shrimp Welfare Project and Fish Welfare Initiative have improved the lives of 2.2 million fish and over 2.6 billion shrimp. Six Indian states in India have now implemented a ban on gestation crates with an estimated improvement in the lives of 1.5 million pigs. Not to forget some meta wins that we've had in the movement. Philanthropies and organizations have collectively granted over $10 million to more than 100 grantees in Asia. The Southeast Asia Farm Animal Welfare Fellowship and the Ahimsa Fellowship in India have collectively trained over 90 fellows, adding new blood and energy into the movement. Vegan hacktivists, along with Violet Studios, have collectively helped over 130 organizations with their tech, design, and advisory services. And last, but certainly not the least, this year's conference has over 400 plus attendees, making it the biggest farmed animal welfare conference in Asia. Now, I know there are many things we've accomplished in 2023 that we didn't touch upon in the last few slides. But this by no means is meant to be an exhaustive list. However, there is no doubt in my mind that we were able to do these things and more because of the compassion and the tireless effort of each and every person sitting in this room. So if you ask me, what's the biggest win for animals we've had in Asia? It's all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shweta.
Wow, that's very inspiring talks and very powerful. And thank you, Shweta, again, and Lucas. Thank you, everyone, to every single one of you. Well, before we say goodbye, I have some few words to say. Today or this year is the second in-person event for AFAD, and we felt so loved, so excited the event, so supported, and it has been wonderful event.
Yeah, it has. And I have just a small announcement. We've heard that a few of you weren't here for the group photo, so in about 5 minutes, once we wrap up, we're going to take another one, if that's okay with all of you, just from this side, so you can all stay in their seats, and it will be much quicker. So thank you so much. Just stick around for that.
But I would request some people outside to fill these gaps, these chairs, so we feel like closer instead of like being some space. We feel like together and loved, right? Can we do that? Yes, please fill those chairs. Thank you.
Thank you all for your patience.
Yeah, because when we did the photo earlier, some people was outside checking out or doing with their luggage. So that missed the opportunity. So we wanted everyone to be in the photo. So thank you for your patience.
Hands up. One more. Woo! Amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to our photographers. Thank you. We only keep you for 5 more minutes, and then you can go relax. Thank you for your patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to to talk about the future of Asia Farm Animal Day. All right. Anyone want to hear about the future plan? Good, we love it. All right, so Asia Farm Animals Coalition, AFA, launched the first Asia Farm Animal Day, or AFAD, in 2020. And since then, it's gone from strength to strength as a much needed and much celebrated event. A gathering of organizations working on behalf of Asia's farmed animals. And the event AFAD has become started as an online event and serve as an awareness raising platform to celebrate farm animals and the highlight their plights. And through our incredible collaboration with our partners, AVA International and friends, AFAD became an in-person conference since last year in Kuala Lumpur, and that many of you attended. We are so delighted and so grateful to receive so much support from organizations, individuals working in the farm animal protection in Asia and even beyond. We aim to offer a real-world platform for networking, forming friendships, collaboration, and unity across the movement. And we feel this has been achieved thanks to you all. After deep consideration and discussion with both teams, we have decided that next year, Asia in-person, AFAD in-person events should now be organized solely by AVA International from 2025 next year, while the FAC team, our team, will focus more on regional events. This will allow FAC team to focus more on bringing local NGOs together, discuss the issue pertinent to farmed animal advocacy in their region, in their own languages. We will continue to hold at least 2 regional events each year. On top of that, we also have other big events that we host, like AFA Conference, AFA Connect, and the next slide will explain better. So you can see that each year we have enough events. And on top of this big event, we would like to focus working more with you in the countries. We have hosted a couple of events in different countries with some of you here, like in Vietnam, in Japan, in Philippines, and next year as well, we also want to work in India, Indonesia, and other countries. And so the AFAD in person will be hosted by AVA International, and it will become AVA Summit Asia. Despite this change, we plan to continue to collaborate with AVA, so this is not like a divorce. We still love each other. And we will be part of the new branding AVA Summit Asia Steering Committee. We will, of course, be present in 2025 in the Asia Summit Asia.
Thank you, Thanh. I just want to say on behalf of all the AVA team, including the team members that couldn't join us today, that it's been so incredible to work with Asia for Animals. Their team is absolutely wonderful. I mean, you've seen them running the show here. It's been like absolutely incredible, and we're so lucky to have found you such incredible partners, and also to have achieved like a lot of impact through our partnerships. This like means the world to us. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. And so like Thanh said, AFA so will focus more on regional events, which we also announce in a moment, and there are other conferences that they host, and they will continue to host AFAD online in the future, and AVA will continue to host in-person events in Asia moving forward. And we'll always collaborate with local groups, wherever we organize events, and AFA will continue to collaborate and support each other and absolutely support their work, just in a different capacity. We'll have more information about this also on social media, and yeah, if you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to us at any point. So thank you. Anything else you wanted to say, Thanh?
Yeah, people might want to ask, how about Asia Farm Animal Day? Is it die or is it not celebrated? We will continue, but we hope that the idea of AFAD is to have a day that anyone working or caring about farm animal or a diet chain could celebrate in their own way, in your own country, and or in your organization, in your community. So we will host that as an awareness event, a celebration. AFA will continue doing so, and we might collaborate with you to support and with you in any information or exchanging idea on that.
Thank you. And so now I have a really exciting announcement to make that some of you might already know, but actually the next event we'll host in Asia will be in India next year in 2025. We're super, super excited about it. We'll have more information about dates and location on our newsletter, so please sign up to that. Thank you. Also, we're hosting an AVA Summit in Latin America in partnership with VegFest. This is happening in Brazil in December, so we would love to have you there as well. And also in the United States, in Los Angeles, May 15th to 18th next year. And one final, really exciting announcement from AVA is that we actually will have our first AVA Summit in Africa next year. This will happen in Kenya in July. Again, sign up to our newsletter for more information. We're super excited about this because this will be the very first conference for professional animal advocates in the African continent. So this will be really, really exciting. So we would love to have you there as well. Thank you.
And then within AFA, we also hope that we can collaborate with you and invite you or follow us on our social media or the news about our upcoming event. We are in discussion with some local groups for the next regional events. We've done the first 3, and we're going to India earlier next year as well, and Pakistan's in discussion, and Indonesia. We would love to work with you. So any of you in other countries who want to collaborate with us on hosting a regional event, please come to us and we can discuss that. And in 2025, in August, we will have AFA conference in Taipei, Taiwan. Please follow us for update on how you can attend, and we'd love to see you there. We also have planned for 2026 and 27, but you can find this on our website. And don't forget about the Hanoi VegFest, which is happening this weekend, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the slides. My apologies. Just to show you again, the AFA conference in Taipei.
Yeah, apart from that, AFA would host every quarter AFA Connect. So we have done 3 AFA Connects before, and the coming one is in November. All the sessions in past Connect are recorded and on our AFA YouTube, so you can check it out in your spare time.
Thank you, and again, just to mention, you don't want to miss this VegFest happening tomorrow. And the following day, it's here in Hanoi, and you're already here, so please don't miss it. It will be really fun. I also wanted to share happening October 13 to 15, the China Vegan Summit. Some of you are speaking there, so it's going to be really exciting as well. I also wanted to mention Pakistan's first International Animal and Environmental Rights Conference. Round of applause, yeah. Happening in Pakistan, January 18th and 19th, 2025. This is organized by Charity Doings Foundation and environmental and animal rights consultants in Pakistan and funded by Tribe Philanthropy. So all amazing events that you don't want to miss. Last but not least, let us know how AFAD went for you. You can scan this QR code. You also get notification on MOVA and some emails as well. This feedback is really important for us to learn and improve for next event, so please take a few minutes to do that. Thank you. Just to wrap up, I just wanted to say that reiterating what wonderful Lucas and Shweta have shared with us, that I just know that at times the challenges we face just may seem really, really unsurmountable, but it's really the small, consistent actions that each of us take every day that really create waves of change. And no matter where you are, no matter the resources that you have, your work really, really, really matters. And I know that sometimes we can feel that the movement is so small, there's not enough of us, it's so hard to make progress, and we'll never see the end of it. But together, we're really strong. Just look at the people in this room. It's really amazing. And when we join forces, our impact truly, truly multiplies. And the future we envision for farm animals becomes not just a dream, but a reality. So please, let's stay connected. Let's work together. Let's support each other and just change the world and create a movement that can really change the world for animals. So thank you so much for being here. I just want to do another thank you for all of you. Please, round of applause. Yeah. For the AFA team, all of the AFA team, all of the AVA team, our incredible volunteers, the hotel that is hosting us, the AV team, our photographers. It's been truly, truly incredible to have you all here. Thank you so much.
And that's the end of Asia Farmer Day 2024, everyone. I hope you have a safe flight home, and if you stay in Hanoi, have a good time.